Hi guys, and welcome back to Factorio Vanilla. This is episode 27, and I'm your host, Glitch. So before we get started today, just want to say something about the new introduction screen you've just seen. I've been trying to do some sort of branding stuff for the channel, and I'm still learning things as I go, so that might change as things go on. But hopefully you like it, hopefully you think it will be useful in standardizing what we do when we're introducing videos and things like that. So I think part of the purpose of all that is to try and actually make the channel a bit more memorable. So, as you know, I've chosen the name Glitch. I'm fairly happy with that. I think that's what we're going to stick with for the time being. I'm going to be adjusting this as well to reflect that before too long. But with that out of the way, let's get back to what we were doing. So, last time we found out that our factory had entered, well, I called it the power death spiral, because we weren't producing enough coal to feed the steam engines to keep the power running to get the coal. And of course, with that happening and everything else happening, the power was just winding down throughout the factory. So that wasn't good. And in order to combat that, there's a couple of things I want to do. So one of them involves actually getting more coal, because without that, everything else is fairly pointless. But I'm also going to set up something with some circuits so that I will be prioritising power to the mining areas. So this will confirm here for now, and probably going to have to reverse all of those, but that's okay, we can handle that in a second. So do I have enough splitters? Yes, I do. There you go, so that's most of this setup. And let's bring this across. Oh, I didn't quite get that right there, never mind. But that's now set up, so we can delete a lot of the excess splitters, like this one. So I'm not as talkative today as I would normally be, and part of that is I've had a terrible throat infection for the last couple of days. So I'm trying to record this now and trying to talk as much as I can do, but obviously you will have to bear in mind that I'm not quite as talkative as I normally am. Let's leave that one in there for now, because we can still have the overflow from our coal, if there is any left to spare over there. So we've now got, well, it's not going to work yet, because I've just spotted that half the belts are still going the wrong way. But we've now got belts running, and I'm running up the belts, so I'm really not doing this well at all. Oh, there you go. We've now got belts running right the way down. We'll put some underground belt in as well, so that it can just go through the wall, or under the wall. And I think I'll turn some of this wall into gate in a second, so we can actually run through it a bit more easily ourselves. Do I have any gate at the moment? Not yet. Can I make any gate? No, because I'm lacking iron plates. Never mind. So, okay, take that back out for a second. I'm going to need some long poles. Do I have any ready? No. So again, let's take this up. And that can stay there, I think. So then when we're taking this across, it's not going to work for the time being, because I think the factory is completely out of power at the moment. But I will show you in a second just what I plan to do to get around that fact. So this coal deposit should actually see us through for quite a long time. And if we do need more coal than this, well, we'll have to move on to using trains to bring it in. But now that is set up, the next step is going to be, I might want to move this down a little bit before I do that, but if I put in some solar panels over here, and hook them up because we want them to get power. I need a few more medium electric poles in order to do what I want to do for this, and some copper cable as well. So I've already gone ahead and made, if I can spot it, it is a power switch. Now, can you not reverse these? No, you can't. That's interesting. No matter, so that can go to there. This one can go on this side. This one can go on this side. And I'm going to cancel out the pole in the middle for these two. So if you press Shift and click, it will delete the wire in the middle. So I want to then have this wire coming from there to this side of it, and from this side back out to here. So the purpose of that will become apparent in a second, but we are also going to need, where are they? Some accumulators. So I'll pop down 2 accumulators, and then use the green wire to connect that to our power switch. And then from this, I'm going to set it so that if A is less than, or rather, if A is greater than 20, power will flow out. So at the moment, there's no power on this side, but there is power on this side. And what that means is that this solar panel will always generate power to provide energy to here, no matter what happens. But if I now hook this up to the larger network, there, see this side is producing 240 kilowatts. Why is it producing? That's strange. So at the moment this is set to well, something's getting power from somewhere, but I can't tell well. Oh, I know what's going on. We've got 4 solar panels down by here somewhere, and those 4 solar panels are probably providing all the power in the network at the moment. But what we're going to see now is this coal will come down here, and I have to be careful and put some protection up there in a moment, because I don't want that getting destroyed. But if we come back down here for a moment, we'll find that we've now got coal coming in, and there's no power in the network to actually start to pick up these pieces of coal. So that's a problem. But where's the rest of this power going? Well, right now it's running straight across here. And is there any power in this network? Let's find out. Not much, because it's all coming from the solar panel still, and that's just not giving enough power to actually do anything at all. So what we're going to do instead is I need a little bit more iron plate first. What I'm planning on doing is setting up almost like a fail-safe device, so that if the factory ever does run out of power, it will automatically restart itself. So I suppose I could do it with a few more of these, just to be safe. But if I then place one there, or rather, run across and do it, there, and I'm still out of range. So these will now start to fuel the steam engines, and the steam engines will start to generate the power to allow the rest of these to turn on. So that's brilliant. Obviously we don't have enough coal coming through just yet, but we will do, because as this starts to power back up, in fact if we look at this over here now, we're now producing some energy. We're producing 16 odd megawatts, but it's not enough still, so we are starting to spiral back down if we look back at our production over time. But we should find that if we run back up here, it's daytime again now, so we're going to start seeing some more coal coming back down, because no matter what happens, this is going to generate energy, which will power these, and they will send the coal down regardless. If we have any spare energy, then the accumulator will start to fill up. If the accumulator is above 20%, then it will put the excess energy out through here. And if we put down a few extra solar panels, we should be able to demonstrate that. Of course, we don't have the green circuits to make extra solar panels just yet, but we will start to be able to do that in a moment. So I think the big thing for now is getting just more miners and more miners up and running, because we're still not actually sending enough coal anywhere near enough coal to actually do what's needed for the time being. So what do I need to make mining drills? Green circuits, iron gears, and iron plates. We can see at the moment that we're really not using the energy particularly efficiently because it's just not matching our needs. If I grab some of that, green circuits around here somewhere. There you go. Oh, we might actually have used up our green circuits. Oh, there's a few there. I've had to run further down the line than I'd have wanted to, but not the end of the world. Okay, so you can see that this is starting to perk up a bit now. What I also want to look at is this stuff. So we're really not generating enough coal to actually send anything down there, which is a shame. And do we have any mining drills over here that aren't being used anymore? Because if I remember right, this whole area is almost mined out. Yeah, so that's not being used. So we would have had to have replaced this area with this one up here fairly soon anyway, because we are down to our last couple of thousand pieces of coal. But for the time being, and firing our turrets won't help either because they use up lots of energy. But I think we'll leave the research for now, because the research is going to use a lot of energy that we don't actually have at the moment. So the first priority is trying to get the amount of power coming in up. Now, we can actually steal these because they are not needed. In fact, we can go ahead and steal the other 4 from over there as well, because our real priority at the moment is to actually get enough power over to that coal generation zone to the north. And once that starts to kick in, you'll see why. So take those out as well. So apologies if this seems like just a lot of running back and forth. There is a purpose to it all, but obviously, as we've gotten so far down into the death spiral, things have gotten a little bit out of control. And you can see that even with coal coming in, it's barely making it to the 4th area. In fact, it's not really keeping anything running at all, so we need a lot more coal than this. So hopefully this power will help with that. And what I'll do in a moment is I'll set up another duplicate thing a bit further down the line, which will do more of what I was looking at. So in fact, if I steal this one, because we're not getting any use out of it at the moment, can I make another power switch? Yes, good. That's not just my mouth that doesn't work today. My brain doesn't seem to be functioning either, because I can't see where anything is. But let's put these down, and we have a biter. So obviously some of the pollution is reaching over there. That's a bad thing. So that's only the one base. That's handleable. I think what we'll have to do is quickly take that out. Not that they're really giving me much choice. So, okay. Now that those worms are all dead. Oh, that's interesting. Alien artifacts have changed. They used to just be a purple ball. They now look much more like goop. But with them gone, that should make things a little bit safer for this operate. And we still need to sort out the power problem for this area. So if I run back over here, don't know why I'm holding coal, I actually want to be holding solar panels. And just trying to trim the trees down a little bit so I can actually fit these in where I want them. So at the moment, all of the energy that these solar panels provide, all 700 kilowatts and growing of it, is going to feeding these electric drills. And they each take, what, 90 kilowatts? That makes sense overall? Yes, they take 90 kilowatts. So if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 32 of them. 32 times 9, 270. There's just under 3 megawatts of power needs to run that. And we're currently generating 840 watts. 840 kilowatts, sorry. So we're producing about a third of what's needed to actually run this full time. So this will never start to charge. So this is actually reliant on external power before it will turn on. So that's not going to work, is it? Because what I was hoping was that if this was producing enough power to fill that, then it would turn this on and allow power out of the network. But that's not going to work because that's never going to fill up. Now the solutions we've got would either be to reduce what's needed here, so that we could use a surplus, or if we remove that, put it on wherever it's gone, put it on this side of the network, and connect it back up. So this will now never put power out to the network unless the network already has power. Yeah, that makes more sense. So because the network doesn't have power yet, we're still in a shortage, that will never charge up. Okay, so the next step is going to be doing something similar down at this end, but isolating it from the main part of the factory. Because I want to make sure that as much power as possible goes up to that coal area. So if we put down another power switch, which I've lost it, where's it gone? There it is. I've got 4 of them. I don't know why I need that many. But if we put that there, and again we grab our accumulator, put it here so it has a chance to charge, and then we need green wire, well red wire or green wire would do, but either's good. Hook that across, and this can only put a connection through if A is going to be greater than, let's call it 20%. And then we need to hook this up as well with some copper wire. Don't tell me I'm too far away. That's better. Now, will this one also be too far away? Or, nope, just about reaches. So, this will discharge quite quickly at this point. In fact, if we look at our power supply, we can see that our accumulator stored energy is dropping down quite quickly. And as soon as it does, you get a horrible flickering pattern because it's actually doing something fairly clever. When this is above 20%, it puts energy out to the rest of the factory. When it's below 20%, it doesn't. I'm going to change it slightly so that this will only put energy out to the factory when it's above, let's say, 80%. And we'll still get the flickering in a moment. There you go, we've now got the flickering back. But the purpose of it is that we are going to be prioritising power coming up this way. Because if I run over here again, got to remember to put that wall back in at some point. But if we run back up here again, we now find that the energy network on this side, which you can not really read very well, is now going to be the same as the energy network on this side. Because there's more than 20% energy available in the network, and 20% is what it's looking for. So it does allow the energy to come through and onto this side, which also means that the solar panel power can flow back the other way. Which means that all good. So if we look at this now, we've now hit the point where we're producing enough energy to actually keep things flowing full time. But if it ever stopped, if it ever started dropping down again, then it would cut off power to the main factory and prioritise power going to here. And if it really dropped so that we couldn't actually power this area, then this would still keep things running on its own. So there you go, we should have now solved the power decile problem permanently. And with that in mind, let's put this brick wall back in place. With that in mind, I think that's a good place to wrap things up for the episode, because we've actually done what I intended to do. So this has been Factorio Vanilla. I've been your host, Glitch. You can see that we are still not quite getting the coal through that we want, but we can deal with that in the future if we have to. But for now, that's the end, so I will see you next time.